Hi everyone, I want to tell you a personal story about dealing with mean girls that had left an indelible imprint on my life and has impacted what I do and also influenced me to start the Women Who Wow group. So when I was very early on in my legal marketing career, I went to the big industry conference. And there were a number of events for everyone, but there were also some exclusive events, and you had to know someone to be invited. It was an after party in someone's suite. And I remember that a friend of mine wanted to bring me and another person, we were both junior, to this event. And they asked the organizer if they could bring us, and the organizer came back and said no. They said they're too junior and they're not essentially part of this in crowd. I was astounded. I had never felt so excluded except for when I was back in grade school. I thought this industry was supposed to be a very welcoming and inclusive one, and this certainly didn't feel that way to me. So I later found out that there was an issue. The woman who said we couldn't go believed that I was in some way a threat. Of course I wasn't. I didn't know that. I was just trying to make friends. What I learned is that there are a lot of women who use power like that, stature, where they are in an organization or a committee, to then play queen bee, right? To decide whether or not you get access to certain things, whether or not you are invited into the in crowd, and they enjoy excluding people, okay? So it makes them feel more powerful because remember, something about you brought out something in them that made them feel insecure. This isn't about you, it's about them. So whether it's jealousy, like I said, insecurity, something you have in your professional life or personal life that they deem worthy, and they will hold it against you. So controlling and using their power to exclude you makes them feel good. You do not want to be around these people, first of all. And what I learned is that, number one, I don't want to be associated with anybody who does things like that. Number two, I learned what I wanted to be in terms of a leader. In terms of if I had the opportunity to start a group, I was going to invite everybody. I would never discriminate against people based on, whether they're too junior or not in the in crowd, right? And any organization that proliferates a culture of this is not an organization that I wanted to be a member of. So I started my own group, and I started Women Who Wow many years later, but it's in part because of a situation like this. It's also to give us, you and me, skills to deal with women who are like this, who see other women as threats, who are frenemies, who could potentially be very dangerous for us. Sometimes we don't see it, our intuition doesn't kick in, or sometimes we try to win over people to a fault. And no matter what you do, it won't make a difference, because if somebody doesn't like you or is threatened by you, you're not going to win them over. Your best bet is to just remove yourself. So I don't engage with people like this anymore. And I suggest you do the same, and instead join me doing more Women Who Wow things for an inclusive community. Adult bullies are very dangerous, and the more power they get, the more success they get, the more they feel entitled and able to treat women this way. So if you see this behavior, stop it. Don't think for a second they're not talking about you if they're talking about other people. And find a group of supportive women who don't interact like this, who don't do this sort of thing to other women. And there are plenty of those women in the world.